Today, behind the scenes, I'm going to share with you some productive hacks I've discovered over the years and I've implemented it in my life, which has allowed me to be so much more productive. And at the end of this, I'm going to share with you a free tool that allows you to put everything together. Now, I think this tool is amazing, so I'm going to hold it off until the end because I don't know how long this will be free anymore. I think they should start charging money. But take advantage of it while it's free, and I'll share that with you at the end. So let me get started right now. So, number one, it is going to be assigning time limits for each task you have. Because here's a problem that I've seen a lot. A to-do list. It gets longer and longer and longer. And when you look at that to-do list, it becomes way overwhelming. And you're like, how am I ever going to finish everything here? Am I right? So assigning time limits fixes most of that problem. Of course, you're not going to get everything done, and that's the key. Once you see that you're not going to get everything done, it allows you to prioritize between top priority, mid-tier, and then there's things that are just, minor, that can wait. So for example, you have 20 different things on your to-do list, but if you have a lunch meeting, you put down 1 hour for that. Do your laundry, 15 minutes, send out emails, 1 hour. Those are examples. And then you start adding everything up and you realize there's only 24 hours in the day. You're not going to get all of that done. From there, you know what you can shift to the next day, what's priority. And that is quite a relief when you know what you can or can't do. And that is the key. Essentially, you have a list of what to do and what not to do, because it creates a lot of tension when you're looking at it. You're realizing, how am I ever going to finish everything? You want to finish everything. It just creates anxiety. So once you get past that, you become way more productive than ever before because you know what you can do and you focus that specific time just for that task. Now, number two, it is rewarding myself. So what's the biggest distraction today? It is the cell phone. We're always looking at the cell phone. Actually, I just got a message right now. I didn't plan that out. If you heard the little ping, I have a message on Facebook. Now, we have this tendency to check our phone every single time we have a message. Now, the way I get around that to practice the discipline of not checking my phone, my messages, my email right away is this. With every single task I have, I tell myself, once I complete this task, I can reward myself with checking the phone, my email, whatever messaging system that you have. So it sounds silly, but once you do that, it allows you to get a lot more done because you're not interrupting yourself with checking the phone, checking the message. And it's not so much the time it takes to check your phone. I mean, it's instant. You check your phone, you reply to a message. But it's more like the focus. You lost your focus. It takes you a few minutes to get back on the focus on that specific task. And it throws you off. So in the long run, it eats up a lot more time than you think. So when you switch it to where you only check your phone, check your messages after you complete a task, you produce a lot more. You get a lot more done. And then number three is to break your task down to parts. Before I go any further, I want to explain what I mean by task. When I say task, it could be anything. Writing a report, planning a trip with your parents, planning a picnic, whatever it is. I use task very loosely. Now, back to what I was saying. Breaking it down to parts. Here's why it's effective. Because when you look at a task, of course a small task can get it done right away. But there are some tasks where there are many parts, a lot of coordinating. So the key is break it down to the very minimum 3 parts. I like to break it down to 3 parts all the time. And if you think about it, it's just like running a marathon. I mean, if you have to look at it as running 26 miles, it starts to become very overwhelming. But if you break it down to just 1 mile and realize you're just running 1 mile 26 different times, focus on 1 mile at a time, you're more likely to accomplish that and it becomes less overwhelming. It's almost like that to-do list. You're just cutting it out, taking it one step at a time. Now, let me share with you how I've successfully used breaking down a task to 3 different parts. So as you know, I'm a real estate professional connecting people, properties, and possibilities. In this instance, I'm representing the buyer. We had a seller. We had an appraisal done on the home, and it was a lot lower than what we were in contract for. Close to $60,000 actually. So from there, I wrote down the problem, what it is, and I wrote down what does the seller want and what does the buyer want. The buyer, of course, wants to bring the price down to pretty much what their appraisal was, $60,000 less. And the seller, of course, is a little ashamed. They don't want to go ahead and lower it that low. It's almost like, what's going on here? I'm knocking down $60,000. So I wrote down, what the problem was, what the seller's probably thinking. The fact that, at $60,000, it sounds like a lot. Although they never actually had that $60,000. It was all on paper. And then I wrote down the different options that would make it work. Of course, I wrote down options, write a letter to the seller, show the appraisal report, and negotiate, give a reason why, other than just the appraisal, add another reason, what's wrong with the neighborhood, things you found. So I wrote that all down, broke it down to 3 parts: the problem, buyer and seller, and then the options. The next thing you do with breaking down a task is you forget about it. You step away, you do something else for an hour, you clear your mind, you come back to it, and then you revisit all the 3 parts, you add to it, you remove from it, and you could also step away again, or from there, your mind is clear, you're seeing it from a different perspective, because every moment that passes by, you're essentially a different person, because you're influenced by different things all over in your day-to-day life. TV, your phone, what you read on the newspaper, so you essentially are a different person. And then from there, what I did was I looked at it, I chose the best option. I can't tell you what was the best option I chose because that's confidential. But I do want to share with you how I've actually used breaking it down to 3 different tasks so you can try it out yourself too. So there you have it. Those are the 3 productive hacks I've discovered over the years. It sounds simple, but once you start implementing it, you're going to see great differences in how productive you start to become. So I promised you, I'm going to share with you one free tool that will piece everything together. And here it is. It's Trello. You're going to see right here in this link. Go download it. Not download it, but sign up for an account. You could actually download it on your phone as well. And it is amazing. It's like how do I put it? It's like a big board, but digital. You can move things around. So it's really amazing. Essentially, you could write to-do list, doing, done. Sometimes you're done, but you need to move back to doing because it's not really done. So it's really cool. It's an online, how do I put it, like a bulletin board. Have you seen the people with those big boards sticking little tacks on it with different notes, different to-do lists? This is a digital version, and it's a lot more clean. It's more effective. It lets you put pictures on there. So check it out. It pieces everything together, allows you to be so much more productive. Well, there you have it, my free tool and my productive hacks.